hydraulic lift. Clase, hoy lo que vamos a hablar es sobre la grúa. All right? There's many different types of hydraulic lifts. When you go to the patient's home, most probably this is not the lift that you're going to see. These are like models like cars. You see how there's different cars? Big, small cars, cars that you push button, cars that you turn on with a key, the gear lever is here or here. But the fundamentals are the same. All hydraulic lifts has something that makes it go up, something that makes it go down, and something that opens the base. That is the fundamental of how this machine works. So when you go to your client's home, you look at the hydraulic lift. If your care plan says that you need to use a hydraulic lift for your client, you look at the hydraulic lift, you push buttons, you move levers, you turn screws or whatever. If it's a push button, you push buttons and you investigate it. You start to familiarize yourself with what you're doing. So cuando tú llegas a la casa del cliente y tu plan de cuidado dice tú tienes que utilizar una grúa, probablemente la grúa que tú vas a ver en la casa del cliente no es la grúa de la escuela, porque hay muchos modelos, son como los carros, y los carros son diferentes. El timón está aquí, los cambios está acá, se prende con botón o con llave, pero toda la grúa tiene algo similar. Tiene algo que lo sube, algo que lo baja y algo que abre la base. So, cuando tú ves que tú tienes que utilizar una grúa, tú vas a mirar tu grúa y empezar a ver qué es lo que esto hace, qué es lo que lo otro hace, a familiarizar. Esta grúa es una grúa bastante común. This is a very common hydraulic lift. And I'll just show you quickly how it goes up, down, and opens the base. So te voy a enseñar rápido cómo se sube. Aquí hay una palanca, here's a lever. That makes it go up. Eso lo sube. This little lever makes it go down. It goes down by weight. Esto se baja con el peso del cliente. And you could stop it. Lo puede parar también. And this, let's say I wanted to go over here. You see I can't go, but now I open this, and now I can go straight away. So yo puedo abrir eso y ir. O si tengo un espacio pequeño en la casa, I close it. If I have a small space, I close it and I can maneuver the hydraulic lift where I need it to go. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Now, this is the sling. This goes under the client and it becomes like a chair. Okay, and I'll tell you how we do that with the chains. So, se llama también un cabestrillo. Y esto se pone debajo del cliente y se forma como un sillón. Y te voy a enseñar cómo eso se forma con las cadenas en un chip. So, obviously the first thing you're going to do when you're going to start this procedure is you're going to talk to your client, hand sanitize, and start the procedure. So, obvio, cuando tú vas a hacer este procedimiento, tú vas a hablar con el cliente, manitos limpias, y empezar el procedimiento, ¿no? Okay. So you roll this up like you did the bed sheets, right? So vamos a enrolar esto como hicimos la sábana. Okay. And this is the same measurement as the draw sheet. What's the measurement of the draw sheet, guys? The measurement of the draw sheet. Draw sheet. It is from shoulder to the back of the knees, right? So esto es la misma medida del movible. ¿Cuál es la medida del movible? Excelente, excelente. Okay. So this arm bothers me, I move it. Este brazo me estorba, lo muevo. And I try and get this under the client. Trato de poner esto debajo del cliente. Okay? Now I'm gonna move the client, right? So I have to remove the pillow, right, guys? So because of the cervical issue, right? So tengo que remover la almohada. ¿Por qué? Perfect, perfect. Y lo voy a posicionar, right? Como lo tengo que posicionar. So I'm going to position him how I'm going to position him, right? I could do it this way too. If I wanted to, I could. Or I like to do it this way so it doesn't fall. Okay? So you could do it either or. Tú lo puedes hacer de cualquier manera. A mí me gusta esta manera más segura. Okay? Alright, so now I move, this one goes over here as a mannequin. This always happens. Don't worry, he's not going nowhere. Él no se me va a caer.
No. He's tired of laying in the bed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, buddy. You good? You guys have the idea?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes you have straps. Sometimes you have chains. When you have a chain, you gotta count it. Usually I count 9 links, okay? When I'm gonna hook it there, okay? I hook this first and then I count 9 links from the arm. And that will form the chair, okay? If you have the strap will be a short strap and a long strap. The short strap always goes to the arm and the long strap always goes to the leg. If you forget that order, remember the arm is shorter than the leg. So you put short with short. Short arm, long leg. Is that clear?
Yes.
Cuando tú no estás usando la cadena, si estás usando la cadena va a contar hasta 9. Si estás usando la correa, que viene una con correa, la correa ya está medida. So tú tienes una parte corta y otra parte larga para hacer el sillón. La parte corta va del lado del brazo y la parte larga va del lado de la pierna. Si tú te olvidas esa orden, recuérdase que la mano es más corta que la pierna. Okay? The hooks always on the outside. You don't want hooks on the inside where your patient can hurt themselves. So hooks like this always go on the outside. Esto siempre va hacia afuera. No para adentro que tu cliente se puede lastimar. Okay. So over here there's a metal rod with a hole. Aquí hay una cosita de metal con un jotico, ¿verdad? Tú agarras el gancho y lo pones en el rotito, right? And then you do the same thing over here. Hace la misma cosa aquí. Right? And then you do on the other side. Tú haces la otra cosa del otro lado. What happened?
He died.
¿Qué pasó?
Lo golpeó el paciente.
Sí.
Tienen que darle la vuelta a la cama.
¿Qué?
Darle la vuelta a la cama.
Thank you. You always go around. In this job, there's no eraser. You make a mistake like that, you can't erase it. How you gonna call the agency? Oh, I broke the patient's rib because I put the chain and it fell on the patient. Okay, so never, never, ever pass something on top of a patient. You go around. Nunca se pasa nada por encima del cliente. Se va para el lado. Aquí no hay aborrador. Tú haces un error así, se te rebala. ¿Cómo tú vas a llamar la agencia y decirle, ay, le rompí una costilla al viejo? Toma, Mercedes. Very good. Thank you, Mercedes. Doña, ¿me puede prestar mi silla de ruedas? Thank you. Póngamelo como aquí. That's good, that's good. Y víralo un poco para acá. Perfect. Thank you. What is that called? No. ¿Cómo se llama eso? No. That's called unemployment. Unemployment. That's right. The day that you forget to put the brakes on that chair and your client falls and breaks a hip, you'll be out of a job.
Oh, yeah, the brake.
Yes, ma'am. So, you know, these accidents don't happen when you're new students. It's like when you're driving a car. Usually you don't get in an accident the first time you have your license. Because you're like this. You're not listening to the body. You're not. So you're focused, exactly. But when, you know, you start driving for a while, you start texting.
You start feeling yourself like, I got this.
Exactly. Same thing with this job. We have to remember that this equipment is very helpful for us, but it could also cause us a lot of problems if we don't use it correctly. So when you see that chair, you respect that chair. Because that chair, the day that you forget to put that brake on, and you're transferring that client, and he falls, that's it. We can't make those kind of mistakes. So you learn it from now. La razón por que yo te digo que es el desempleo es porque el día que tú olvidas poner esos frenos y tu viejito se rompe una cadera o algo pasa, tú no vas a tener trabajo. ¿Ok? El desempleo, exacto. Tú sabes, estos accidentes no pasan cuando ustedes son nuevos. Esto pasa cuando ya uno está en el trabajo un rato. Es cuando uno está manejando, ¿verdad? Cuando uno está manejando, ¿ok? Lo que está pasando es que uno está enfocado cuando está aprendiendo, pero ya después de un ratito, está mirando esto, está oyendo la música, está en el celular, ¿me comprende? Y ahí donde los accidentes pasan. So, cada vez que tú mires esa silla de ruedas, téngale mucha precaución a todo el equipo del cliente, porque si se usa y uno se descuida y hay un accidente, ¿cómo uno explica eso, gente? Right? Okay, so freno, por favor, ¿me puede poner los frenos? Can you guys put the brakes on?
Yo creo que aquí.
Nice, nice, thank you. All right, guys. So, I want to get this, and I want to use this as a guide, because I want to connect these hooks on here. So I don't want to put it straight in the middle, because I want it to be like a chair, so I kind of got to go a little higher than the belly button probably. So yo voy a subir esto un poquito más de su ombligo, porque yo no quiero que esté como una camilla, quiero que esté como un sillón, right? Now when I move this here, the patient gotta be inside here, guys. El paciente tiene que estar en medio de esto, ¿ok? Más o menos, more or less. And I lower this down, bajo esto. And I hook. I count now. Cuento. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mami, de aquí cuenta 9. going to pull him up. But when I'm pulling him up, I'm focused on these hooks. I'm focused on him. I'm making sure nothing's hooked, nothing came out. My eyes are always moving. So cuando yo estoy subiendo la grúa, mis ojos están moviendo a los ganchos, al paciente, que todo está bien, que nada se zafó. ¿Me comprende? Okay, so here we go. Now he doesn't bend like a real person, so I may have to help him. Este no se dobla como una persona de verdad, so tal vez lo tengo que ayudar.
La mano.
Pues, este tipo tiene un brazo que siempre se cae. Buen día.
Allá.
He's supposed to bend at this point. Está supuesto a doblarse. I'll show you with a person coming back, but basically, that's the way it's supposed to be, okay? All the way up, hasta arriba. Okay? Now guys, when you with your patient and you moving your patient around, you have to be conscious of your space. It's not you anymore. It's you, this machine, and this patient. It's like when you're driving a car, you don't hit the fender, right? Because you become one with the car. So you have to be very aware of his head, okay? And his feet. That you don't scrape it, you don't hurt him, because you're in control of this. This person can't help himself. So, cuando usted está tratando con un paciente y moviéndolo en un equipo, tú tienes que estar consciente de tu espacio. Ahora no eres tú solamente. Tú tienes que ser uno con la máquina y el paciente, como si tú eres uno con el carro. Cuando tú estás manejando, tú no le das a frente, ¿verdad? Porque tú te pones uno con el carro, tú eres parte del carro. Misma cosa con esto, tú tienes que estar consciente de su cabecita, ok, y su pierna. Ok, so mucho cuidado. Very careful. Now you see this is a little awkward, so I open, okay. Now, you have to manipulate, you have to get him close to the chair, and now you have to like manipulate him a little bit, because if not, he's not going to sit right. So tú lo tienes que manipular un poco, ponerlo cerca a la silla, y manipularlo un poco para que quede recto. So I just hold by his knees, right? And this would be ideal. Esto sería adiar. So I open it slowly, lo abro despacito, and I guide him, y lo guío. Always careful for this. Always careful for this, okay? Because this hits them in the head. Esto siempre chueca el paciente más si es altito. So as you lowering it, you put your hand and then you move it, okay? So we take one side out, sacamos un lado. This one gotta go a little lower, so we lower it. Sacamos este lado. And we stay with the patient, because he don't have a seat belt. We don't go behind here, because he could go prrr. No lo vamos lejos del paciente porque se te puede caer. No hay cinturón. So you go like this, you push that aside, and now you put the seat belt right away. Tú pones el cinturón inmediatamente. You take off these hooks. You put them in the side here if you want. Take out that hook. And you could leave this. Tú puedes dejar esto. Okay, good. Now I need somebody for real to come in here. Mami, ¿tú me puedes quitar este y ponerlo allá? Por favor. Cuidado. No, cuidado con él, cuidado contigo. Ok, ¿quién quiere ir a un ride? Who wants to go for a ride?
Yeah. Look, the little one, right here.
You don't have to be a little one.
Oh, para montarse ahí, no, para llevarlo.
Blondie.
Yo lo
Or
llevo.
Candy. Or Evelyn.
La doña, ya. A ti que te
You coming, mami?
Tú también vayas.
Sí.
Ven, ella va ahí, yo te voy a guardar aquí la silla.
¿Eh? Okay, mami, thank you. Póngale la cadena. Put the chains on. Mami, tu manito así. Ajá.
Para afuera, ¿eh? Oh, ya.
Mhm.
Sorry. Sí, porque puede enganchar.
Okay, so vamos a llevarle esto y van a contar, right? You guys are going to count to 9. Ten cuidado con tu pie, mami. ¿Lo pusiste, mami?
Sí.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, está bien. It's good. I want to ask her how many times she's come late to class. ¿Cuántas veces tú has venido tarde a clase?
Dos.
Oh, okay, suerte. She's nervous. Está nerviosa. You okay, mommy? Okay, I'm gonna spin you. Te voy a voltear. Okay, baby? She looks terrified.
Tiene 2 puntos ya.
It's okay. You ready?
Yeah.
You sure? Bye-bye. Yeah, mommy, let the machine do it. Good girl. Okay. Okay, man. Okay. ¿Me estás dando una ayudadita, por favor? Aprendiste, Mercedes. Good girl, perfect. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Mami, te voy a voltear. So I'm going to turn her. So I rolled this in, and I rolled this one in. Okay, and then you take this around. Tú sacas eso alrededor. We good? ¿Estamos bien? Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna practice this. Okay? All right. So mañana vamos a practicar. So tienen que ver el video. All right?